14 states voting on one day. Why is Super Tuesday organized this way? Why have one day where so many states vote at once?
Well, this is like a national primary, and usually there's a sequencing to these events. But a lot of states said, hey, we want to go earlier and earlier. So there was this bunching up, and it's a pretty diverse set of states. So the politicians were like, okay, we can handle this. So that's why we have our closest approximation to a national primary, when almost half the delegates are given out.
Now, historically, do the candidates who come out on top on Super Tuesday go on to clinch the nomination?
Yes, this is usually a moment when you see a huge surge in candidates pulling away. This year, obviously, is very different.
Can you tell us a bit more about why it's different? What shifts have made this Super Tuesday more uncertain than those in the past?
Yeah. Well, a few things. First of all, this was an unusually large field to begin with, so voters didn't make up their minds till the end. And we have candidates that are occupying different lanes. We have, Joe Biden occupying more of the moderate lane, and Bernie Sanders more of the kind of progressive lane. And there's still a few other important candidates in there, Warren and Bloomberg. And so it's really a fragmented field, and that's what makes things so uncertain. We don't know what the outcome is going to be tonight. We have some guesses. And most importantly, we don't know whether there will be a majority of delegates supporting one candidate come the convention this summer.
Now, for candidates who perform poorly on Super Tuesday, is it possible to recover from those losses, or is it truly a make or break election day?
Well, right now, it's narrowing to a two-person field between Biden and Sanders. So some candidates have already dropped out. It was, Buttigieg and Klobuchar dropped out at the South Carolina primary. But some candidates have an incentive to stay in. And one of those candidates is Elizabeth Warren. She can pick up delegates, she thinks, in every state, and she wants to take those delegates to the convention and use that as leverage, even hoping perhaps to be a compromise candidate at some point to show that she can win in every state. And Bloomberg's a different situation. He's put on a lot of money in all of these states, and he doesn't have much of a ground operation because he hasn't been there that long, but he's hoping to do the same thing. If he can get above 15% in these states, he brings delegates to the convention if he stays in.
All right. Thank you, Ray LaRaha, for joining us on the program. Ray LaRaha, political scientist from the University of Massachusetts Amherst.